I'm so proud to present our next speaker, Yusuke Oishi. He's from Japan. Today, Mr. Oishi is going to tell us something special about his culture. Let's give it up for Yusuke.
Thank you, Haruka. Good afternoon, everyone. Have you ever used bulletin board system on the internet? We often use bulletin board system to communicate with people and to ask some advice and to share knowledge. While we are in conversation on the internet like BBS, we are not able to see the faces of people who participate in conversation. However, even in text conversation, people sometimes become sad, angry, and happy. But how do they express their emotions? To solve this communication problem, someone invented a way to express their emotions on text. It is ASCII art. ASCII art is made from letters, like this. This is the first ASCII art invented by Scott E. Furman, who worked at IBM, to describe the smile in text. And also Japanese invented same kind of ASCII art to make conversation better on the BBS. Today, I'm going to tell you about Japanese style ASCII art. And then I'll start with what it is, and then I'll talk about Japanese style. And finally, I'll talk about why you should know it. If you don't mind, I will leave the question until the end. First, I'll tell you basic knowledge. ASCII is an acronym for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. ASCII defines the letters on computer system, and each ASCII code represents the letters on computer. In other words, ASCII is the rule that enables us to use letters on computer. And that's why we call the art that is made from letters ASCII art. Since Japanese have many alphabets, we have kana, katakana, kanji, and Roman alphabets. Japanese ASCII art can have more expressions than English. For instance, there are 10 kinds of phalanxes and 6 kinds of points. Japanese ASCII art have been developing mainly Ni-channel. Ni-channel is the biggest BBS system in Japan, and there is 70 million users on Ni-channel. And this time, I will focus on specific kind of ASCII art. It is Mona. Mona was born somewhere in Japanese forum, and after its birth, people who use Ni-channel BBS have been making many kind of faces of Mona. And you can tell your emotion through the Mona's face. That's how Japanese ASCII art works. Scott E. Furman invented ASCII art, and he used only 3 characters to make smile. On the other hand, Mona drawing in 2 lines of letters. Mona's face consists of outlines and face parts. You can make variety of face with changing these face parts. Since there are a lot of faces of Mona, I cannot explain all of them. Today, I will focus on 4 specific kind of Mona's face. Relaxation, anger, happiness, and sadness. First one is used for expressing your relaxation, and second one is anger, and third one is happiness, and fourth one is sadness. Let's see how it works on actual conversation with examples. This is the first example. I'm not homeless anymore. Look at Mona's face. You can definitely feel the relaxation of the person who wrote this comment. And I can even see his bright future. Can't you? Next example is this. Who drank my Dr. Pepper? He looks so angry. Although Dr. Pepper is not so expensive, but someone, I can imagine that someone drank the last one. I can understand his feeling. Third one is the very basic example. I passed the exam. Look at Mona's face. Eyes are brightening. Aren't they? I think the person who wrote this comment got A+. Let's move on. Last example. I was stolen my car. Mona was crying. I can imagine that the person can't stop crying. My guess from this Mona's face is that he hasn't finished paying car loan yet. Everyone feels so sorry for him because of Mona's face. Now that I have informed you about Japanese style, let's move on next. Why should you know that? In IT era, we can easily communicate with people with video, voice, and pictures on the internet. In fact, in Japan, there are many BBS that supports uploading pictures and photos. So if you want people to know your emotion, you can show the picture of your face. It is totally possible, and it is a straight way to express your emotion. It seems it is not necessary to learning about ancient way of expressing emotions on the internet. However, ASCII art is necessary for some reasons. Firstly, sometimes you don't want to expose your face on the internet. Exposing your face on the internet just to tell your emotion is ridiculous. Your face will be Googleable. Secondly, you can't participate in the world's biggest BBS without knowing Japanese ASCII art. Because all conversation on Ni channel includes Japanese ASCII art, and moreover, some of them are only ASCII art. It means that you give up a lot of information from BBS. You know how precious knowledge is. Now you know something about Japanese culture. What it is, ASCII art, and Japanese style ASCII art, and why you should know it. Of course, what you learned today is not enough to survive in Japanese BBS. But it is enough to just see the conversation on the BBS as an observer. Fortunately, there is a 4-channel BBS, which is similar to Ni channel BBS, where you can communicate with people in English. Also, there is a place where you can find a lot of Japanese ASCII art. It is named ASCII Art Bar. You should try. By the way, I'm now coding a web service that converts pictures to ASCII art. That URL stands for http://pic2ascii.sumo.org. If you want to try it, please visit my website. Thank you. Are there any questions?